No emojis, no extra formatting, easy to copy and paste. Tell me, continue the story to extend it into a full 25 to 30-minute voiceover. After months apart, the unexpected moment between Lee Jun-ho and Yoona shocks fans. Fans had been waiting for a glimpse, a hint, a sign that Lee Jun-ho and Yoona's paths would cross again. And when it happened, no one expected it to be so quiet, so subtle, yet so powerful. It was a late afternoon in Seoul. The city hummed with its usual energy, unaware that a moment was about to unfold that would leave millions of fans in shock. Jun-ho stepped out of his car, adjusting his coat as he scanned the entrance to the studio. Months had passed since he last saw her, months of schedules, shoots, and endless speculation online. Yet as his eyes landed on Yoona, all the noise of the world seemed to fade. Yoona was waiting near the studio gates, her posture relaxed but her expression unreadable. She hadn't expected him to arrive at that exact time, and neither had he. For a brief second, time slowed. No cameras, no fans, just the two of them. A connection that years in the spotlight could never erase. Jun-ho approached, keeping a careful distance, yet his presence was undeniable. Fans who happened to catch a glimpse online instantly began uploading screenshots and small clips, spreading like wildfire. Within minutes, social media erupted. The hashtags #Jun-ho-Yoona, #unexpected moment, and #K-drama reality were trending. Their conversation began quietly, almost inaudibly. A few shared smiles, a slight nod from Yoona. Jun-ho's gaze lingered longer than necessary. It was as if they were both weighing words they hadn't said in months. Passers-by noticed the gentle tension between them. Some whispered, others recorded from a distance, careful not to intrude. The subtlety of the moment only made it more captivating. No announcement, no public statement, yet the world felt the impact. Rumors instantly started swirling. Was this a professional meeting? A friendly catch-up? Or something more? Fans debated endlessly, dissecting every frame of the videos that were shared. But for Jun-ho and Yoona, none of that mattered. In that quiet courtyard, away from the cameras, they shared a rare and honest connection, a reminder of everything that had brought them together in the first place. A brief laugh, a soft glance, and then a promise unspoken. This was not the end. Something new was quietly beginning. And as Jun-ho walked away, fans knew one thing for certain: this unexpected moment would be talked about for weeks, months, and perhaps years to come. After months apart, the unexpected moment between Lee Jun-ho and Yoona shocks fans. The courtyard seemed ordinary at first. A few delivery trucks moved slowly, a guard occasionally glanced toward the gate, and the late afternoon sunlight bathed the area in a soft, golden hue. But for Lee Jun-ho and Yoona, it was anything but ordinary. Months of separation had passed. Each had been busy with their own schedules, attending shoots, interviews, and promotional events that kept them apart from each other, even though fans had speculated relentlessly about a reunion. But here they were, finally, and it was quiet, intentionally quiet. No cameras, no paparazzi, no staged photos, just the two of them. Jun-ho, dressed casually yet sharply, had a calm confidence that seemed to mask the racing thoughts in his mind. He hadn't anticipated the rush of emotion that hit him the moment he saw Yoona. She stood near the gate, elegant as always, her expression serene yet thoughtful, her eyes scanning the area before settling on him. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. He could feel the months of silence, of unanswered questions, the subtle longing that neither had acknowledged openly. And in that stillness, something undeniable passed between them, a shared understanding that years in the spotlight could never erase. They approached each other slowly, neither rushing, each aware of the eyes that might appear at any moment. And though the cameras weren't there yet, some fans had already noticed subtle movements from a distance, sharing small clips online. Within minutes, social media lit up with speculation. Fans could hardly believe what they were seeing. The hashtags #Jun-ho-Yoona, #K-drama reality, and #unexpected moment began trending within minutes. Yet none of that mattered to Jun-ho and Yoona. This reunion wasn't about the fans or the media. It was about them. A shared laugh broke the tension, brief but meaningful. Jun-ho gestured toward a quiet corner of the courtyard, one shielded from curious eyes, and Yoona followed without hesitation. They began to talk softly, carefully, as though the months apart had created a delicate thread of conversation they were now weaving back together. Each word was measured, each glance intentional. Fans online speculated endlessly. Were they meeting as friends? Was there romance? Or was it simply professional? But the truth was far more layered. Behind their smiles, there was history. Years of working together, growing alongside each other in an industry that demanded perfection, that scrutinized every action. Years of unspoken support, subtle gestures that never made it into headlines, yet defined their connection. They had always been more than colleagues. They had been anchors for one another. The conversation soon turned to their work, projects, schedules, and commitments. But even in these casual discussions, there was a warmth, a subtle familiarity, a way of finishing each other's sentences that spoke volumes. They laughed softly at inside jokes, and at one point, Yoona lightly teased Jun-ho about forgetting a line during a past rehearsal. His response was a playful grin, a flicker of vulnerability that rarely appeared in public. Fans online dissected every second. Clips went viral, a glance, a smile, a hand gesture. Each small moment sparked thousands of comments, theories, and fan edits. Yet for Jun-ho and Yoona, it was never about the outside world. It was about reconnecting, even if only for a few quiet minutes. After about 20 minutes, they decided to take a short walk. The streets around the studio were quieter now as the sun began to set. The golden hour cast a soft glow, and Jun-ho instinctively adjusted his pace to match Yoona's. They walked side by side, occasionally brushing shoulders, exchanging words that were both mundane and intimate. At one point, Jun-ho stopped and turned to her. "I didn't realize how much I missed this," he admitted softly. Yoona looked at him, her expression unreadable at first, then softened. "Me too," she whispered. "More than I thought I would." The honesty of that moment was electric. It was not a declaration for fans or cameras. It was real, raw, the kind of moment that reminded them why they had formed such a deep connection in the first place. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they paused at a small coffee shop they had often visited during past projects. They didn't go in, they simply stood outside, watching the city come alive with evening lights. The air was cool, crisp, and perfect for reflection. "I've always admired how grounded you are," Jun-ho said, finally breaking the silence that had settled between them. Yoona's lips curved into a gentle smile. "And I've admired how you handle everything thrown at you. Even when the world feels like it's against us, you always stay strong." Their conversation lingered on memories, shared experiences, projects, challenges they had faced individually and together. Each memory was a reminder of how much they had grown, not just as artists but as people. And though the media often portrayed them as a glamorous couple, moments like this revealed their humanity. The fans continued to react online. Videos circulated, and the world debated whether this was a sign of romance rekindled or simply the warmth of a deep friendship. But the truth was, Jun-ho and Yoona didn't care. They were living a moment that was theirs alone. Eventually, they returned to the studio courtyard where their meeting had begun. Before parting ways, Jun-ho gently reached out, a subtle hand gesture that conveyed more than words could. Yoona met his gaze, her expression tender yet determined. "This isn't the end," she said. "Not for us." Jun-ho nodded. "It's just the beginning." And with that, they parted, each heading toward their own car, their own schedule, their own world. Yet in the hearts of fans everywhere, something monumental had occurred. Months of speculation, longing, and hope had culminated in a single, unforgettable moment. The world would talk, speculate, and theorize for weeks, perhaps months. But Jun-ho and Yoona had reclaimed something far more precious than headlines. They had reclaimed their connection. A quiet, unspoken bond that would continue to grow, even behind the cameras, away from the noise. And as night fell over Seoul, both of them looked back, just briefly, knowing that their story was far from over and that the unexpected moment they shared would resonate for years to come. This was more than a meeting, more than a viral clip. This was a reminder that even in a world obsessed with fame, cameras, and public perception, genuine human connection remains irreplaceable.